What's up, everyone? How y'all guys doing? With the cold, especially because the weekend has been pretty cold. It was not here to joke, neither was the weather joking with us. And especially the singles, how y'all guys doing? Anyway, I don't want to get into that, but welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you very much as usual for passing by to subscribe, comment and share, and like my content. You're very much appreciated. Karibu sana, guys. Allow me to get into today's raw topic, which is a topic that is not very much discussed about. I'm not only talking to the ladies, I'm also talking to the men. Now guys, or rather ladies, y'all know that time of the month when your stomach is bloated, when your cravings are all over, like you want some chocolate, some ice cream, some sweet tooth sugar things. That is what you want. We all know that time of the month when your mood swings are all over, when you're easily irritated, when you get mad, when you don't even know what's happening inside of you. We know better, but there are sometimes that we are like, we don't even know how you feel. And if you ask a lady how are they feeling, wanakwambia mimi nasikia madogodanyo. Now the madogodanyo is what I'm talking about today, and that is called PMS. Woo, na feel ni kama najua biology. Now PMS is premenstrual syndrome. Now if you are on the extreme side of it, that's PDD. Now guys, let me burst your bubble before we see whether madogodanyo is real or not. Now according to an article on the Sun newspaper, and I think this newspaper is pretty cold to be called the Sun. Wanazaje sema statement kama hii, but kuna kwa ukweli fulani hapo. Anyway, let's see what they say. They said that PMS is a myth that women use as an excuse when they need a break. Well, I don't agree with this statement. I don't agree with it. And okay, well, if you're making an excuse not to do some things, and you're using that as an excuse, that's wrong, on so many levels. But guys, this is so genuine. PMS is real. And for some few days in the month, man, don't mess with us. Don't you dare mess with us. Because imagine, guys, it's interesting. I don't know whether I think I should give some of my life experiences with that and some of my life stories. Guys, let me tell you, when you're a teenager, when you're just getting into your into 18, 19, 20, or in high school and all that, sometimes you don't understand how you're feeling. You couldn't really explain. You didn't even know that it was caused by that. But the more you get into it, the more you go over the years. Sometimes the symptoms get hard. Sometimes the symptoms are more pronounced, and people have different ways on our bodies handle this differently. Some are emotional. For some it's physical, like you have cramps, it's painful. For some it's emotional, like you feel like, you feel like I'm tired, you feel like I hate my boss. You feel like you don't want anyone to mess with you. You're just angry, you're just easily irritated. And I don't quite understand what this newspaper is talking about, because PMS is real. PMS is real. It is totally real. There is that 1 week of the month, I promise, I swear to you guys, the week before our periods, there's just 1 week, that 2 or 3 days where you're like, you don't want anyone to mess with you. I literally feel like my world stops for 3 days. Even before we get to the physical part, I literally feel that, like, I don't know what's going on with my body. I don't feel like working. I don't know how it has affected you, but personally, mine was, when I was a teenager, when I was in high school, it was not bad. But when I got into my 20s, it was bad. Like, I remember there was a time I fainted in someone's house, and they had to take me to hospital, and I got an injection and all that too, but it's not the same for everyone. And what I don't think is right is to tell people that just because you're not going through that, just because your emotions are not going through that, just because you're okay and doesn't really affect you, it's not okay to say I think they're just using it as an excuse. When all these years, you're 30 years, you're 40 years, you're 20 something, 25 years like me, and you've experienced this for years and you don't even know how to deal with it. There are people who think like that because they've never been through that. But I'm telling you guys, PMS is real. I have fainted. I have bailed on on someone, I have bailed on an event, I have bailed on work. Like, I also read another article that was saying that there are people who bail on dates because of their periods. And I'm like, yes, I'd bail on anyone, because that time of the month you are just like, hauko hapo man, hauko. And when we tell you that we are not okay, when we tell you that we are feeling madhogodhania because of that, don't try it. Usituangalie useme, we know it, that's what you're going through. But these things are real. There are some people who are really having it rough. I actually heard that there are people who feel like, who have these suicidal thoughts in them, guys. Like they literally feel like the world stops for them, like it's the end of the world for them. And I'm just talking about the emotional part. Now imagine the cramps part mixed with that. It's all, and the cramps part is very bad. It's very bad. I'm telling you, there was a time, I remember that time I was not really going to job like 8 to 5, and I was not so much on the run. I was working from the house sometimes. I was, those things. And I'm telling you guys, there were times I remember I didn't go out. Like, I mean out, like kutembea na huko, like kwenda church, kwenda home, kwenda, for a month. And I was just feeling low, because sometimes you guys don't understand, but it's draining inakudrain. You feel like, I'm so tired emotionally and physically. And I know that we say that with years we can handle this, but we can't. How has it affected you? I want to know on the comments, how has PMS affected you? I have refused to go to work, and I gave an excuse like, I'm not feeling well, and I called the human resource and I was like, no, I'm not feeling well, I am not. I gave excuses. But sometimes when you tell people that you're bailing on work because of your periods, they are like, when are you the first lady? But I have had to bail on a lot of things because of period. There are days I feel like those period days, if I can plan them before, and sometimes you can actually plan them. There's an app that allows you to plan. You're like, I want my off days to be on these days. I want my off days, because I'm telling you guys, it's hectic. Sometimes you're totally uncomfortable, and am I the only one that there's a certain way you feel like you want to dress, you feel like you want just an oversized sweater to just hide everything, their comfortability, the attitude, to just hide everything. And there are times you feel like, I don't want to talk to anyone. I wish I do not have to go to work. I wish I do not have to go for that wedding. I wish I do not have to go for that. And I wish I do not have to wake up in the middle of the night and do some changes here and there. It's serious, guys. So when we tell you that we are feeling madhogodhanyo, please guys, we are literally feeling madhogodhanyo. We can explain how we are feeling, but it's important. I remember there was a time that I was really having it bad. Mpaka I said, by the way, now it's time to go to hospital. I went to hospital, they did a scan here and there, and they were like, you are okay, maybe it's just hormonal imbalance. And they give you some pills which are, those pills, by the way, they messed me up somewhere down the line. They are okay in the beginning, but they messed you up, somewhere down the line, because I think some of them are birth control pills. And I felt like I can't be going to hospital because of this, because the flow was heavy. I was having this emotional, what can I say? You feel like you're not, you feel like your world has stopped. I was having this pain for 2 days. I couldn't work, I couldn't do anything. And guys, I understand you. You guys who are going through that, I totally understand you. So I don't know how it has affected you. I don't know whether it has affected your work. I don't know whether it affects your schedules. I don't know whether it affects your emotional stability, because sometimes these things can cause you to be really emotionally unstable. And I don't want to, and it's not easy to go through, like, hakuna mtu anataka ati 3 weeks uko poa, then 1 week uko moody. I mean, that is too much. No one wants to go through that. So guys, ladies, I don't know what this newspaper is talking about, but it is not an excuse, guys. It is not an excuse to get a break. But sometimes I feel like I actually need that break. I actually need that break, because it's not easy. So I don't know whether you've been through that. Let me know through your experience. What has been your worst experience? Mine, I have fainted in a matatu. I have messed in a matatu, and a conductor asked me for 300 shillings. Sasa on battery for 300 shillings, and I had to chuck that money. I have, nimedanganya human resource guy, manze, nimejisema, I'm so sorry. I I don't know, I have used a lot of money. I have used a lot of money buying parts, especially when you have heavy flows, you have to buy these expensive parts. And by the way, parts are expensive, because you imagine you have to buy that one thing for 100 bob, you know, depending on the kind of flow that you have, and you're not using one. It's expensive. It can be draining, not only emotionally, not only physically, but also financially. And to think that, you know, so it's not easy. I totally feel you who is going through that. I don't know what has been your experience. I don't know what has been your experience. But I feel like sometimes we women, it's like our bodies are trying to take us out. You know, periods, pregnancy, labor, you know, easy vitu zote. I'm yet to go through some of these things. But I feel like, you know what? Appreciate the women in your life. Trust me, when they tell you they are feeling madogodanio, they are actually feeling madogodanio. Like, they can understand what they're going through. It's been years, like years later, and I still can't, you know, I'm still not able to deal with it. Like, I'm still not able to contain myself. Like, it's different every month. This month it's okay, the other month it's not okay, the other month it's like this, the other month it's like that. This month I want chocolate, the other month I want, you know, I don't know, salt. Creeps, I don't know. So it's different. And you know, and people tell you that this thing, you have been with it all your life, you're a grown woman and you don't know how to deal with it. Guys, it's not that easy. Honestly, this is something I have never been able to it's beyond, honestly, sometimes I feel like it's beyond our control. Like, I'm like, this month I'm not gonna do chocolate, I'm not gonna do sugar, because I hear that they affect the flow. But then I end up taking them, you know, I just end up there, and this month nothing happens. Next month I say I won't eat them, and woof, it's crazy. So I totally feel you guys who are going through that. Let me know in the comment, how has it affected you? How has, you know, PMS affected you? You know, how does it affect you monthly? How has it affected your, you know, your schedule, you in the workplace, your you know, how has it affected you as a woman? And if you're going through that, I totally feel you. One step at a time, one step at a time. I know that sometimes we don't talk about these things, and watu wako like, ni mood zako nazo, but you don't even understand where people are coming from. Sometimes people, we all want to be in a good mood, we all want to be good women, we all want to be amazing joyous women, but our hormones won't let us prosper, man. So what have you been, what have your experiences been? What am I saying? What have your experiences been, guys? I think sasa juu simu yangu imeniambia 20% na stima zimepotea, and I was set to record this for today. I'm like, I bet stima zimepotea ama nilisahau. Anyway, whichever. But guys, I don't know how that has affected you. Let me know in the comments. Let me know how is that affected your work. Let me know what you're going through. Not only that, you know, vent. I don't know about you, but you can vent in any way. I personally have one day in a month where I just go to the house and have a good cry. I don't know whether you cry in your shower, whether you cry in bed, whether you cry on your couch, but there are days I just go to the house and throw the bag away, and I'm like, I don't even know why. Now I understand. It's not me, it's the hormones, eh? So guys, what has your experience been? You know, do you have a friend that you vent to and tell them, man, periods at this time, zimeni pele kambio? And man, do you understand your sisters when they tell you that they're feeling madogodanio? Do you like tell them, najua, ni mashiro, ni mood swings? No, do you like understand them? Do you like, you know, you will be okay? Honestly, sometimes you also don't know what we want. I don't know whether I want the attention. I don't know whether I want you to stay the heck away from me. I don't even know what I want. And that's how I am feeling. But yeah, let's embrace some of these things. Like, you know, having conversations like this. Let's know that it's normal, that it's happening to many people. I know, you know, let's, you know, talk about these things and see how it's affecting you. Yes, let me know in the comment. How has it affected you? Because it's not easy.